What is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with the winner of the 2025 Arnold Classic Brazil, Good Vito. Let's talk about how Good Vito looked at this show, where did he make the most improvements, and how do we feel about him going into this year's Pittsburgh Pro. So first, I've been very high on Vito this entire year. Also last year, one of the guys I was looking forward to seeing the most on stage. And for anyone that wasn't quite sold on Vito yet, I think after this showing, you have to admit that this guy is very, very good. So based off what I saw at the Arnold Classic Brazil, it looks like most of the improvements were in the back and the legs. Not going to say that Vito's legs are currently oversized, but in the near future, he could look at downgrading his leg training overall, especially seeing how guys like Carlos Thomas Jr. and Rubiel are possibly getting penalized for oversized quads. Conditioning is also an issue with those guys as well. Now, as far as what do we expect from Good Vito going into Pittsburgh, and not to mention, he's qualified for the Mr. Olympia, so Vito's going to be at the O. Going into this year's Pittsburgh Pro, I'm just going to say that things could get interesting. I'm not going to say that Vito could walk away with the win, but he could beat a guy or two that we're not expecting him to beat. This guy is very, very good, and I honestly don't see many weaknesses in his physique. One of the few weaknesses I can call out is he's a young guy. He could use muscle maturity, especially throughout the upper body. A little more of the upper body detail that we complain about not seeing from Derek Lunsford. But again, he's a young guy. And outside of that, I mean, the back is still improving. He can honestly pose his back double a little bit better. But Vito really just has to work on his posing and his stage presence. He's missing that polish that the top pros have, and that's just because he doesn't have the experience. So I think we will notice a gap as far as like posing and stage presence and just being comfortable on stage. But again, things could get very interesting. This was a very, very impressive showing from Good Vito, and he will one day be a top Olympian. And honestly, that could be as soon as this year, but I think now we all have to agree that Vito does have the physique. I believed in this guy before, just saying. Now, next up, we have some recent updates from the mutant Nick Walker at about 5 weeks out from the upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, which will be his comeback to the bodybuilding stage. And this upcoming show is going to be a big one for the mutant because we haven't seen him on stage in a little while, and he has made some bold statements as far as returning to the stage. Now, the last time that Nick competed at the Mr. Olympia, he was third in the world, but that does not mean that he is still currently the third best bodybuilder in the world, especially when we have guys like Martin Fitzwater and Good Vito improving at a very, very fast rate. And of course, even walking away with the top 5 in a very competitive lineup like Pittsburgh is a win. But when it comes to Nick Walker, I think anything outside of a second place to Derek Lunsford or a win would be a loss in his book. Losing to Martin Fitzwater, Michal Krizo, any of those guys, not a good look for Nick. And while we're speaking of Krizo, we actually have a recent front relaxed update from him. As we know, Krizo went through a surgery last year, slowly recovered, but as I've said numerous times, if you look at his physique now, you cannot tell that this guy took any time off. And of course, one of the guys I'm looking forward to seeing on stage this year. I'm actually hoping that Krizo comes in a little bit better than I'm expecting. Krizo, of course, has the size and has shown us he can bring the conditioning. The only issue he could run into is the very aesthetic guys. We have so many aesthetic guys that bring good mass as well. Speaking of another guy that has pretty good mass and also some solid aesthetics, we have a recent update from the Predator Tonio Burton. Really looking forward to seeing Tonio this year, man. He took a decent amount of time off, and I'm really liking the recent updates I'm seeing from him. And as I always say, this guy's Instagram updates to me do not do him justice. Always looks a lot more impressive on stage. And of course, Tonio announced months ago that he's going to be competing at this year's Legion Sports Fest. And as of right now, I have not heard of many guys doing that show. Now, this is going to be after Pittsburgh and New York. So anyone that doesn't win those shows could rebound into Legion. But remember, guys, Tonio's last Olympia, he was top 8. And this guy's made some serious improvements since then. A lot of people call this guy the mini Dexter Jackson. But again, I like what I'm seeing from Tonio. It looks like size has been added. And next up, we have a recent update from Behrooz Tabani, who of course will be making his return to the Dubai Pro. Behrooz walked away with a $100,000 check last year, which is insane. Of course, we would love to see this guy at the Mr. Olympia, but I joked about it last year. I'm pretty sure that 100K softened the blow of not making it to the Olympia just a little bit. But it looks like Behrooz does not stop working, whether he's at the O, whether he's competing or not. Behrooz is training very hard and attempting to be one of the best in the world. And I almost said switching over to classic physique, but Stephane Matala should be making his debut in men's open bodybuilding this year. If I'm not mistaken, he should be competing in the France Pro this year in the open bodybuilding division. And of course, very anticipated. The whole time this guy was in classic physique, we were all pushing for him to go to open. Even though he was losing a ton of muscle to compete in classic, he was still able to qualify for the Mr. Olympia. Unfortunately, he did not compete due to a sickness in the family. But looking forward to seeing what this guy's going to bring to the open. Very impressive physique. But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below who is this legendary bodybuilder. And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And if you have not done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.